So you know those DIYers where you never see any issues? That's not the case today. I've wired this entire behind me four-season room that we have. There's a sub panel in that coming off the primary panel, and I wired the entire thing. No issues. Flip the switch, everything worked perfectly. I've got a sub panel in over here, comes off the primary. I got 4-aught wire that runs over to here. There's a 60 amp breaker in the primary box. I've got a 50 amp breaker here in the sub panel on the other side of this wall. And this is about a 2-foot run of wire. I flipped that 50 amp breaker in the sub panel in the garage and it pops. So I'm almost absolutely 99% positive that I got this wired correctly, but today's project, I went through that secondary box, that sub panel in the garage yesterday, checked everything, checked for shorts, checked for, and redid it a little bit. It's a tight box. It's a small box. You've got big wires in that small box, just a pain. So today, I'm going to pull my white wire and make sure I didn't somehow screw that up. And I'm going to back the negative up, make sure those two are correct. If those two are correct, my red and black have to be correct coming in here. Just double checking this. This is driving me nuts. Like I said, out at Copper Lake, I wired an entire house, flipped breakers, everything worked fine. So, and I've done countless other wiring projects through my years. This one's got me baffled. Could be a bad breaker, but it's a 15 amp. There are GE breakers in there in the sub panel. So anyways, but it worked before, so I don't think it's the breaker. Let's get into this. I was super careful when I wired it. I just don't know. I'm baffled. I called the electrician that I usually use. I get picky. I go with Ricky, and they're so booked out right now. I really don't want to bother him to have to come out and deal with this. And that's the problem up here in the Northwoods. They're so busy, so much building going on. For small projects like this, they just can't get to it. So I get it. I understand it. That's nothing against them. It's just the way it is. So let's get into this. Let's double check our wiring. So James and Alex are actually up here for Harley Colorama. They're staying next door. They just happened to be walking down the street, and I asked these guys if any of them had any were electrical people, and James was kind enough to come over and take a look at this box for me. I think we found the problem. I'm pretty sure James found the problem. One of the wires that goes through the wall where it's clamped onto the circuit, the emergency breaker for the hot tub, the clamp cut the sheathing off of the wire and was grounding itself out, thus causing the issue. And we're going to test it out in a second here. I'm hoping 2 days of working on this. I had looked, I didn't pull it back far enough to see where it was bare, but I think we got titled this Good People, because right on here, this shouldn't be marked with white, it's actually a red line, but it was where it's clamped into the disconnect box. The clamp, when I tightened it down, pulled the sheeting off of the wire, grounded it. I thought I had checked good enough for it, but they came across it. These two guys, honest to God, this is how this worked out. These two guys There's 43,000 people that have come up to the city of Tomahawk right now. It's kind of like a mini Sturgis, or not even a mini Sturgis, but on that order. And they come up for Harley Fest, Colorama, in the fall of the year here in Wisconsin. It's held, Harley Davidson has a couple plants here in town. And this was all started back a number of years ago. For the proceeds went to muscular dystrophy. And I don't know if that's how it still works out. But they came walking out down the road. They were going to go take a look at the water. I just happened to ask them if any of them were electricians. And so, Ricky, you don't have to bother. Thank you, but we got it. I got, and it's all taken care of. I know you're really busy, but I just happened to ask him. The one guy said, yeah. So him and his son is good at this stuff too. They came over, they found the short in there. And just by we were looking at everything else too, and they said, yeah, you got it all wired correctly. Can't figure out, what the issue is. So I'm just going to run a brand new line. I'm going to pull that completely, and we'll run a new line through there, clamp it down, and maybe I won't even tighten it that much. Maybe over tightened it to start with. But we got it fixed. We got power to the hot tub. Life is awesome. And I'm going to fill that yet today. Thank you, guys. Alex, James, once again, thank you. Greatly appreciate it. This means we got the problem solved. 2 angels from down by Sheboygan that are staying next door. James and Alex just happened to help me find what the issue was. Something very, very simple and bizarre. But we had everything wired correctly. Hit that like and subscribe button. Check out the other videos at Perrodin the Project Specialist. Thank you again.